Hello, my dear patron. Hope you're having an awesome, I always say that so officially, my dear patron. Hello, I hope you're having a great night, great day, great morning, great evening, whatever the case may be for you. I hope it's awesome. You can see there is a difference in this video. I just went out to the store and I got this whiteboard. I got a little tired of just doing things by speech. I understand that just watching a person talk, the way I see it, it's like you'd have to really like the person a lot to sit through them just talking. And so I wanted to make this a little more, or substantially more easy for you, especially for the visual learners and things like that. So literally just went and got this like an hour ago, so sorry the diagram's not big enough or whatever little details, we'll get there. But I'll put the guitar down for now. What I want to talk about today is the major scale. This is the first thing I teach all of my students that I do FaceTime lessons with and things like that. This is the absolute, maybe not the absolute first thing, but this is pretty much the first real concept that I show anybody that I'm teaching. Obviously, you guys get access to anything from me, so just about anything. So I'm gonna give this to you just, for being a great member. My cat's running up with her little bell. She couldn't help but show up in the video, I guess. She wanted to see you guys, so hello. I'm the weird cat person. Wow. So the major scale is, I would say, the, I guess, most critical point of all Western music. And the reason for this is that everything that we do in like terminology, any references we're making musically, anything that you're hearing, minor third, added second, all these terms that might freak you out, like they used to freak me out and they still do sometimes, is all traced back to, it's referencing the major scale, sorry. So the major scale looks like this. You have a root note, okay? So say you're in G major. So the root note is the obviously by the name, right? It's the root note. It's the first note. It's the bassist note, the lowest one, whatever. The name of the major scale that you're talking about at the moment comes from the root note, and I'm sure we can all understand that, right? So say the song is in G major. That means the note you're going to start on is G. Okay? But a scale is it's basically comes from a formula of distances from one note to the other. So I never liked thinking of things that way. I think it is good to know distances. Like if I pick the guitar back up, it's good to know, like, from this note, then it goes to here, then it goes to here, then this, and then it's good to know along one line, basically, the formula for a scale. But if you're like me, you don't want to always go through that trouble. So we're going to take the shortcut today, and I'm going to show you again what I show all my students, which is a quick and easy way to identify a major scale, and ultimately to be able to see it on the fretboard, right? So what I have here is, let me see if I can add some more details for you. So this is the first fret right here. Third fret. So this is basically like this is like looking at a tab, basically. Like the thinnest, highest pitched string is on the top, and the lowest, thickest string is on the bottom. So this is our low E, this is our high E. First fret, got second fret there. Third fret, fifth fret, I almost said sixth, seventh fret, ninth fret, so on, and 12th somewhere else. But we're only going to deal with a short little span here. This is like the little trick way that, and it's not necessarily much, it's not like some devious thing, deceitful thing, but I find that this shape that I'm about to show you it's so easy to see, even if you're not, all I know is I've found great success with my students so far, because I'll show them this thing, and then the next lesson we have, they're no problem, they got it, and then they're moving on to the next thing, like, okay, yeah, I remember the major scale looks like this. So evidently it's pretty easy. So it looks like this. This is the lowest string, right? The lowest line. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, so I don't have all the dimensions probably super easy to understand, but basically this is lowest string, A string, D string, G, B, and E. So say that we're in the G major scale from earlier, right? Our root note would be the third fret here, okay? So I'm just going to make a big, obvious point there. That's our root note right there, okay? And that is a... That's too small, isn't it? So that first note, or root note, is a G. So I'll try to make this big. I'm still getting the sizes right. You can see that, right? The badly written G. So that's our root note. All we're gonna do after that is we're gonna skip a fret, go to the next fret. Our second note of the scale is right here. And I won't get into the note names for now, but I'm just gonna go into the shape of it, okay? So we've hopped over one fret, we've moved to the next, and then from that one, we're gonna do the exact same move. We're gonna go, I'm sorry about this light, by the way. Let me adjust the light a little bit, sorry. So we've done a little hop, skip thing over here, and then we're gonna do the exact same move from the second note to the third note of the scale, okay? And that's gonna lead us to the 7th fret of the same string, right? So far we've got bam, skip a fret, bam, there we go. Nice and easy, right? The great thing about this shape that I like to show people is that it's the exact same thing to continue the scale, but on the next string over, okay? So right above this on the A string, we're gonna literally do the exact same thing, okay? And I want you guys to really start internalizing this, because this is, trust me, this is going to just lead to so much clarity for you, especially those who don't know as much about music theory yet. So you see that I'm just replicating the same thing as I did on the bottom string there. So the major scale has 7 notes, 7 different notes. It basically goes, it counts up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then when you hit the 8th note, you really didn't hit a new note. You just went back to the same note name as the root note. So after we've gone through the formula, right, which we can go into another time if you'd like, we're going to be back at the same root note but an octave higher. So obviously we have 1, 2, 3, and it's super easy because the next string is the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3. And the only difference here, it's not like you're going to keep doing that, right? These are just little dots for the whatever you call them, the inlays on the guitar. So I tried to distinguish them like that. But so now we've got these same exact things across these 2 strings. The 7th note of the scale is going to come in. You would think that we would jump to the same, like continuing this pattern, we would have been the same fret. We've been on the 3rd fret of the D string. But all we're going to do is go up 1 fret, okay? So the next note is going to land on the 4th fret instead of the 3rd of the D string, okay? So all in all, we end up having something that looks like that. Yeah, it looks pretty clear. Root note, 2nd, 3rd, next string, same thing, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th note, and this note right here would end up being the same as the first note, okay? So that shape, this is so important, I can't even describe it to you. I want you to ingrain this shape in your head. So no matter where you start, you could start at a different point on the bottom. This shape works major scale wise. This shape right here works for or this pattern. Sorry, I keep saying shape. I guess I mean pattern more than anything. So this pattern here works for. You can roll this out from any root note that starts on the bottom string or the 2nd string from the bottom. So the E string and the A string. So you could this could just as well be like the 7th fret or something like that, and you would just do the same exact thing. You'd have that first note, okay, skip, next string, exact same thing, skip, and then the next string up, you just go 1 fret over, right? That's the only difference there. So bam, 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 and then almost the same thing, but just scooted up 1. This is the major scale, and so long story short, right? If you use this, so in a real guitar application, just for the aural part of it, so say we're in G, right? We got G major, to be specific. So I've got this note here, 3rd fret of the bottom, right? And then I'm going to do the exact same shape on the next string, right? And then instead of the 3rd, I'm going to go up 1 fret, then I'm back to the root note. You can see how these are the same thing, right? But an octave higher. So And to go even further with it, I'll show you a G major chord, and then I'll play this scale over it, just to kind of really cement, you know, the tonality of it, I guess. So, all right, so it's a G major, root note. Okay, so we'll just run it through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, again, you could start that same pattern from anywhere else, but I think you kind of understand the idea for now. So, of course, this is going out to the people that haven't been exposed to this stuff before. If you already know this, obviously disregard. This is going to be just such a crucial foundational thing for you. I want you to just practice on your guitar, picking any random root note, and again, this is on the E string or the next string down, the A string. You have your first note. Okay, from there, you just roll out this exact same pattern. You skip over, then skip over, same exact thing. Skip over. Next string up, 1 fret over. And you have the 7 different notes of the major scale. And if you were to go right back up to this would be, I don't know if you can really see that. Yeah, that's the root note again, okay? So these 2 notes are the same note name. Get that shape into your head as best as you can, and I don't think it'll take very long, because again, it's a very simple one. And then from here, we're going to start going into more concepts, but again, this is all based off of the major scale. All the intervals that I'll be using, all the intervals you'll hear in basically this hemisphere of the world, you know, and I don't know how much else, I don't know how many other places, but will be in reference to this formula right here. And in the next video, I'll go over a little bit more of a detailed look at this, more briefly, just so you can see how this pertains to the actual intervallic formula, I guess they would call it, of the scale. But this is like a guitar player's perspective, because I just want you to see this like a shape, at least at first, because it'll jumpstart you a lot further in a lot shorter time. So I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate you so much.